evening, everyone. Welcome in. I'm your host, Andrew Barber, with co-host Drew Shipley, live from Gravitate Co-working Studio, sponsored by Riverton Distillery, Kyle Lehman at Wintrust Mortgage. And all I can say is Big Ten West champions for forever. The divisions are gone. Iowa is the last Big Ten West champion. They do it with a 15-13 win over Illinois. Drew, your thoughts?
My thoughts are Big Ten West champs, like you said. Got it done at the end of the day. On a personal level, I'm really pissed because of my betting interest, right?
Oh, okay.
And it makes me really salty because, of course, I had the under. I also had Iowa to cover 3 points.
Oh.
And when you think about Drew Stevens missing a field goal, which granted, over 50-yard field goal.
Yeah.
But when you miss the extra point,
it was blocked. But yeah, still missed.
A miss is a miss to me, Andrew.
Yeah.
Especially when we pride ourselves on special teams. So individually as a person, I'm salty. But at the end of the day, they are going to Indianapolis to play for the final Big Ten championship as is with the divisions. And it might be their final one in the Kirk Ferentz era. And
maybe.
I think I've been standing pat on this when football season started. When we started this podcast, Andrew, I said that 10-2 Kirk Ferentz needs it for the College Football Hall of Fame, needs a 10-2 season to get that 60 percentile to make it. And the emotion, I mean, getting older for me, I've been more emotional. Like, I'm only in my late 30s, right? So I've noticed in myself that I'm more emotional as I get older.
Sure.
But I think there's something to it. Like, every single game, Kirk has been in tears, man. Like, getting it done, getting the dub. I mean, look at Brian Ferentz on the field today. Final game in Kinnick Stadium for him.
Yeah.
I think it's more of like an 80-20 Kirk walks this year. I don't know what you think, man, because I think it's trending that way. If anything else, it's trending that way.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about that one. I think Kirk is just emotional with everything that's gone on this year. Just all the adversity. You saw the hug at the end of the game with him and Brian, and Kirk's crying, and the team. I think it really said something. The fans don't like Brian Ferentz, and I get it. But the team they immediately went and celebrated with Brian after the game was over.
They did.
And that's a good thing because that's the players respect him. Even if the fans don't like him, the players respect him, and that's a good thing. Even though he's gone, I'm just glad that we could pull it out. I'll be honest, I was not the most optimistic, especially when it was 13-9, and we had punted early in the fourth quarter and given them the ball back. I just thought, okay, well, this is it. And then again, even after we scored the touchdown, I was not optimistic because of the missed extra point. And I go, well, here it goes, 16-15. Illinois is going to drive down and get a field goal. But I am one of the people who counted Iowa out for the first time. I counted Iowa out during this game several times, and even when they had the lead, I counted them out. And I think I just learned my lesson with this team is you just don't count them out. You just don't.
I mean, I don't know. Caleb Brown had a career day per se, right?
That was great. Great day.
Great day in any aspect of football, not just Iowa football as a receiver. A really great day. What, 6 for 79?
7 for 71. Targeted 10 times.
7 to 7? 7 targets, 7 catches?
10 targets, 7 catches.
10 targets, 7 catches. Okay.
A few of those were uncatchable. uncatchable passes. So
on the part of Deacon for sure.
yeah,
I mean,
and just
yeah,
the defenders being there on a couple. So it's okay.
it was a rivalry game. It turned out to be a rivalry game. It didn't turn out what I had hoped to be a decisive, no doubt win, right?
Right.
So let me ask you this, Andrew. Does Nebraska matter on Black Friday to you?
Yes. To me personally, yeah, I would still like to see them win that trophy game. Trophy game, we lost it last year. Nebraska fans are talking a lot of smack. And really, it was a Cooper DeJean injury that kept Iowa out of the Big Ten championship last year. I think Iowa's going to go into that game with a chip on their shoulder. Feel like they have something to prove. Jason Price here. Fellas, I might have missed it since I just signed on, but is Kirk done after the bowl game? Drew thinks yes. I would still lean more towards no, Jason. Tell us how you feel in the comment section. Appreciate you for watching the show. But I still lean no. I'm still more willing to take Kirk at his word because I believe him to be a man of his word. So appreciate the comment there. But yeah, I'm still on team no. Does the Nebraska game matter next week? To me, as a fan, yes, because I still am upset about last year's debacle in Kinnick Stadium. Again, it's a revenge spot for me personally and for the team, and I hope they feel that way because 10-2 means something. And I said it this Thursday night when we recorded. If Kirk Ferentz goes 10-2 with this team, National Coach of the Year.
National. You just bypassed the Northwestern coach who just made it to a bowl game, by the way, today. No, I am gonna fight against you to the death on that one, Andrew. I'm sorry.
You can
sorry
fight
because the Iowa schedule sucks, man. 10-2. We came into this podcast when we started this podcast, Andrew. We both said 10-2 was the expectation.
I said 11-1.
Okay.
But
expectations, right? Northwestern, what was the over under on Northwestern wins in a sports book? 2.5,
3.5,
maybe high end. We'll just call it high end.
3.5. Right?
That team is going to a bowl game with that coach.
Yeah,
they could and should have beat us. Statistically, turnover battle. That team could have and arguably should have beat us, Andrew.
Yeah, Jason, who's Big Ten Coach of the Year? We're talking about that right now. I am Team Kirk all the way.
I know you are because you're a freaking homer, Andrew, and I'm trying to be unbiased.
Yeah, so am I. And I wouldn't be saying this if Cade McNamara, Eric All, Luke Lachey, Cooper DeJean, the Brian Ferentz debacle, I think all of that stuff factors into it. Because we said 10-2, 11-1, we were not assuming season-ending injuries to all these guys. We were
100%. You're absolutely right. But what do you?
And that's why I'm saying it.
What do you put in the Pat Fitzgerald exit basket though? Like, what was that worth to Northwestern?
Was Pat Fitzgerald that great? Because they had like a total of 3 wins in the past 2 years under Pat Fitzgerald.
Pat Fitzgerald went to as many Rose Bowls as Kirk Ferentz has.
Yeah, but I'm saying that in the past 2 years, Pat Fitzgerald had like 3 wins total. So
I know. I know. I'm just playing devil's advocate, Andrew.
I think there was nowhere to go but up for Northwestern. There was nowhere to go but up. Yes, they've overachieved, but we'll see. We'll see what the voters think.
I'm giving it. I don't even know his name, and I'm sad that I don't, because I should. What's his name, Andrew? Do we know his name?
David Braun.
Yeah.
There's actually not a great track record with interim coaches getting the tag taken off and succeeding as head coaches. It's actually not a great track record.
I feel I feel like he's in the position that oh my gosh, Bill O'Brien was following Joe Paterno at Penn State after all that shit show.
Oh,
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? Bill O'Brien was a great college football coach for that team at that time, right?
Gotcha.
And then deuced out for $100 million NFL contract, got fired after 4 or 5 years, got all of his
Yeah.
money, didn't matter. But
Anyways, I think we have the two candidates that it's between.
oh,
Whether
100%.
you agree with me
And the
or
irony is,
Drew.
they're both between the Big Ten West.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's not
It's so
Harbaugh.
funny.
Harbaugh tried to cheat his way to Big Ten Coach of the Year, but he can't do it.
It's not Ryan Day because he can't win a big game to save his life. So
I want Ohio State in the championship so bad.
I actually do too because I think Iowa
Yeah.
can beat Ohio State.
I sneakily think we could too.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's go back to the game.
Yeah.
Caleb Johnson scored the game-winning touchdown.
Yeah.
I think that's just kind of emblematic of this team because Caleb Johnson didn't really factor in until the second half again. And it's just emblematic of someone staying patient, sticking to the script, and making a play when the play is there to be made. And that's kind of just what this Iowa football team has done all year. And Caleb Johnson is just another guy making a play when Iowa needed a play.
I want to be a fly on the wall in those locker rooms, Andrew. Like, I want to know the rhyme and reason why we play the people we play and why we go to the players that we go to, right? So, like, Caleb Brown emerged, no surprise, 5-star guy from Ohio State coming in.
Yeah,
oh, well,
four-star.
let's just 4-star. Let's just throw him the ball. Let's see what happens. Oh, imagine that. Seven catches, 10 targets, 71 yards. You know, like, this should not be a revelation, Andrew. This should have been the expectation.
True.
You know what I mean?
True.
Like, I don't care who the quarterback is. K. McNamara, freaking Spencer Petras. Like, I don't give a shit. Like,
I will
it
say,
should have been the expectation from the jump. You get a talent like that, you give your best players the ball. But I'm kind of sad that I'm getting worked up about it because the fact that we did win the Big Ten West today.
Right.
Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I completely with you. Just want to shout out Joe Evans.
Oh my God! Yeah,
he's the guy who batted down the pass at the end there on that 4th down play.
Oh yeah.
Can't help but feel good for him. 6th year, came back specifically for this year to do something like win the Big Ten West, and he's the guy that ultimately made the play that ended up clinching Iowa the Big Ten West. Caleb Johnson made another big play though too, that 3rd and 8 run to get that 1st down as well. Otherwise, we line up for a field goal and give them the ball back.
Oh, you mean the run? You mean the run that lost me my bet, right? So, like, Drew Stevens was actually going to make a field goal, and then we actually win by more than 3, and then anyway.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry I lost your bet, but we have to talk about the winning play here.
I know.
I think so. Caleb Johnson really with 2 winning plays, and Joe Evans as well. Pass breakups. I was looking to see if ESPN tracked pass breakups.
Sebastian Castro?
4 for Jamari Harris, 2 for Sebastian Castro, 13 as a team. Joe Evans with 3, meaning he swatted 3 balls, including the last one. I think he swatted 2 on that last defensive drive. I think he swatted the 3rd and 4th down pass. Could be wrong. I'd have to go back and watch the tape. Jay Higgins, 12 tackles. But man, I think I don't know. This team's just got a lot of heart. So I can't help but, however you feel about the offense, whatever, you got to be happy for the team at least,
Well,
because they show a lot of heart, man, a lot of
there's
heart.
there's only two teams that go to Indy, Andrew.
Yeah,
There's only two.
exactly,
There's only two.
exactly.
And despite who they built into the West, who they built into the East, how are they legends and leaders all over the years, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
They are going to Indianapolis, Lucas Oil Stadium, and they have a shot to play for a Big Ten championship. That's it.
yep.
That's it. That's all she
Uh,
wrote.
you also ask. You also asked me earlier. I want to go back to next week.
Sure.
We can talk about it on Thursday night as well. Um, Getting to 10 win matters from a bowl game perspective. I think 10-2, even with a loss in the Big Ten championship. Like I said, I think this week, if it's close, if we lose close, or somehow pull the stunning upset, we're probably in a New Year's Six game. I don't really know, but it might be the Citrus Bowl still, regardless of even if we have a close loss. But I think it would at least be a conversation. The other thing is going to 10-2 probably puts us in the top 10 of the college football playoff rankings, and that's always
How do you,
a good thing.
and how do you not take a top 10 team into your at-large spots, right? Like, how do you not take them to the Fiesta Bowl? How do you not take them to the Orange Bowl? I believe those are the two offshoots this year, right? Because
Yeah,
the Rose Bowl is part of the college football playoff. Because
yeah,
what I really wanted, Andrew, was Iowa to play in the last traditional Rose Bowl.
yeah,
That's what I really wanted in my heart.
yeah. Well, unfortunately, not going to get that, I don't think.
Thanks, college football playoff. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Minnesota refs. There'd at least there'd at least be,
yeah. Because if you're 10-1 right now and you beat Nebraska and then you win
yeah,
the Big Ten championship,
12-1. Yeah, there's an outside shot if things fall right.
yeah. Because I think Oregon loses again. I think Washington loses to Oregon. Like,
Listen, the world needs Deacon Hill in a college football playoff game. We
no,
need
they
it.
they fucking don't, Andrew. No, they
Hey,
fucking don't.
he ran for a first down. He looked like he was on his way to a Heisman day in
Actually,
the first quarter.
that run that was the most excited I was all freaking game, Andrew. It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
He threw a touchdown. He didn't throw any interceptions. He did have that fumble.
And his stat line wasn't that bad, Andrew. What, 19 of 29, 181, right? Something like that.
Yeah, 167 and a
167.
touchdown with no interceptions. That's back-to-back weeks with
Didn't turn the ball over.
pretty good completion percentage, a touchdown, and only one turnover. And that's winning football for this Iowa team.
I mean, when we got that safety when it was 2-0, I thought the game was over.
I wanted it to be a 2-0 game. I thought maybe this would be a 2-0 game. I thought, what better way for this Iowa team to go 9-2 is by winning 2-0. Not how it worked out, but it's fine. Any last thoughts before we sign off for the night? Anybody else you want to shout out stats wise or talk about that stood out to you?
No, not really. Sebastian Castro has been my guy on the defense, man. Sebastian Castro. That play on third down where the Illinois running back got stopped at the line of scrimmage and then pounded right there to stop it on fourth down. My God, that might have been the play of the game, actually.
That was an amazing play from Castro.
Stopped him,
but
the bounce from the running back was a great play too. Like he did everything that man could have done.
Yeah,
and then met Sebastian Castro behind the line of scrimmage after the fact. My God, if he's not all Big Ten, I'm going to be pissed. I'll say that. That's my that is my cut. That's my final cut.
He should be first team. He should be first team all Big Ten. Yeah, that'll do it for me as well. We can talk about. I think it's a really interesting topic as to who's coming back next year, who's not. and Castro is a name in that. So I'm glad you brought him up. But man, shout out to all the guys who are for sure leaving. Noah Shannon, Joe Evans, um, Nico. Um, a lot of winning in those guys' time at Iowa. A lot of winning and 2 Big Ten championship appearances for those guys as well. But more importantly, you can talk about the offense, but those guys have been part of a lot of winning teams here and teams that have won at a high level. So
Let me part with you with this, Andrew.
okay.
This senior class, do we see outside of Tory Taylor? Do we see
Tori. So, yes, I'm
do,
glad
do
you
we
mentioned Tori.
do we see people playing on Sundays next year? And exclude Cooper DeJean as well. Say Tory Taylor out, Cooper DeJean out. This senior class, do we see anybody playing on Sundays?
Is Higgins technically a senior?
I think he is. I think he's a redshirt
Yeah.
senior.
Yeah. So I guess I would say Higgins. Yeah, probably.
Higgins is a stud for sure.
Higgins would, if he decides to go, because he does have another year if he wants it.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say Higgins,
Yep.
and then Castro. What status is he? Is he just like Coop? Oh no, he's a redshirt senior as well, but I think he has another year at Iowa if he wants it.
Yep.
So technically, I think I'm cheating by saying Higgins and Castro, but I see Higgins and Castro playing on Sundays. I don't know about. I think Evans will make a roster for sure. I think Tory Taylor will play, but like you said, I can't pick those guys. Can't pick Coop because he's a junior, but he'll obviously play on Sundays. Um, Man, I don't know. I think Higgins and Castro are the easy choices for that.
I think if Castro comes back, I think he will be an All-American.
I think he has an
He would
outside
be
shot at being that to this year.
He should be, but he won't
Probably.
be. He won't be because he's playing for Iowa.
We'll see.
And he's in the shadow of Cooper DeJean. Let Cooper DeJean go to the NFL where he should be, and God bless, right? Like we have to let go of him. He's not coming back. He's not coming back, right?
Yeah.
But man, I'm telling you, Castro, All-American. You're right. He might be second, third team, and it'd be a shame if he's not at least honorable mention All-American.
Yeah. Really interesting question is, we need to do this in the off season. Deep dive into all the times that Iowa had multiple guys with decisions to make if they had chosen to return. Like I think of AJ Epinesa returning, that kind of stuff. But like next year, if all the guys that could return chose to return, you're talking Higgins, Castro, Cooper, Jamari. If everybody that could return just decided to return, Lachey, all those guys.
Yeah.
Lachey, all. Kate already said he's coming back. But
there
I mean?
was so much to talk about. You're absolutely right, Andrew. This is talk for April, for April, May, June.
Yep.
Stuff. A lot of speculation and a lot of excitement, man. Like they're going to Indianapolis to play for the Big Ten championship, point blank. 2 teams do it. 2. And the University of Iowa is 1. That's it.
So
doesn't matter.
We might see you on Wednesday night because of the holiday schedule. Maybe we'll pick Wednesday night.
Wednesday sounds good.
Yeah. Sure. But we appreciate all of you as always for listening. You can pick us up on Apple and Spotify. We'll have this audio, this recap. For now, go celebrate. Enjoy the Big Ten West Championship if you're an Iowa fan, because we made it whether you like it or not. So go Hawks. Appreciate all of you. Appreciate Revelton, Gravitate, and Kyle Lehman. Have a good night, all of you. And go Hawks.
Go Hawks, champs, baby.